Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to more sadness. I say sadness because things aren't going as planned in some areas. Oh, so we're gonna get the most painful and heart-wrenching stuff out of the way first, because I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to look at it. I don't think you want to talk about it. Makes me sad. Makes you sad. But it's that goddamn Atlantis boy, Sandrock.
Yep, he's a big boy.
Big boy. Don't praise him. He's a little girl, is what he is. Remember, he's the enemy here, and then as the enemy, he shall be mocked and made fun of. But here's one thing before we get into ragging on how much we hate him and want him to die. Not Sandro, but Cashews, troops, and your movements here have forced Sandro's hand to react on this, to hold this peninsula. Sandro wants to kill Nerfy because he thinks it's the only person he can kill right now.
Yeah.
So you being there has bought Nerfy precious time. Unfortunately, I don't know if the Mercs army, the army at the Mercs, is just gonna go. It's either gonna try to intercept your little army, which is doing guerrilla warfare tactics behind his lines, which I think we talked, and he wants to move to Sinextro, or if he's just gonna say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for Nerfy's capital and try to be done with him."
Yeah, because he would be able to. I think that his army would just crush whatever Nerfy has there, even with whatever defenses he has. Which, by the way, is very, very low. He only has a 15 defense on his capital.
And again, Nerfy has one more turn to turn up the garrison a little more. But honestly, the garrison didn't do shit last time.
No, probably not. But, it's still something. But the problem, I think Nerfy has the exact same problem that I do. That none of his units can do enough damage to
Well,
actually
both the
kill
Phoenix Empire and Early Age Agartha are kind of relatively, from my knowledge, weak factions. They're not particularly strong. And the worst part of it all is you're pitted against Atlantis, one of the strongest early age factions in the game. So regardless of having two people over there, you're also fighting a war against Carlos. He's fighting a war on 3 fronts because he's a fucking mongoloid and he decided to do it himself. But regardless, Atlantis is super broken and powerful. And Poofer Toofer has been poofing really hard. So Nerfy did manage to defend against Atlantis, though, in the water, which is good. Which meant that he bought himself some time there. Again, slowing Atlantis is a big priority. Arch's front, not a lot happened. It's important to note that the turn was accidentally forced because I think there's a memory leak with this game. I had the server client running 24/7. It's been running for about a couple weeks now. Unfortunately, when I came on this morning, it was lagging pretty hard, so I had to force end turn. Now that didn't affect the enemy team, but it did affect our team. Arch had yet to submit his final turn. And so did I, because I made some adjustments. And so our team got shafted on that whole turn. Or at least 2 of our players did. Not particularly too bad. So Arch didn't really attack anything. I think that's why he was a little bit mad. I think he was intending to attack things this turn. And again, that's crucial. So that has just hamstrung us even further. Really annoyed with that. So I'm going to have to keep an eye. Probably going to close the server down and restart it at the end of every day then.
Yeah, that might be.
When no one's paying attention. Like when everyone has their turn in, right before I end mine, I'll just reset the server real quick and then it'll be fine. So other than that, I mean, you've consolidated most of your back end. There's just one territory at Vel Rest. I think you can have your little army there, waddle over there to get that done.
Were there any important battles this time?
There are. So it's time to start going through the battles. A dire potent, the spirit of Conan, barbarian lord Ulm, and king of kings, master of the spring god of the wildlife, has proclaimed that the oak growing in his sacred grove is his mother oak, the oak that stands at the heart of the world. Possession of this oak is truly a sign of the spirit of Conan, barbarian, is rightful ruler of this world. Thus the oak must burn. So he cast Mother Oak before me. That's because my disciple is fucking crispy. He was eaten and distributed among the enemy troops at Abyssia, unfortunately. So we're going to have to resummon our disciple god. There was a pretty big battle, or there was a battle in Weldry. Carlos just sending in hawks everywhere like a mongoloid as he always fucking
I'm
does.
not sure what his plan is with those.
It's like, I'm gonna just waste these everywhere. The thing is, he could just send a scout to see for himself what the garrison is, but he's using these for scouts, which is kind of a waste, but oh well.
Yeah, and I think they might be useful as the unit.
They
You
would
know,
be. Except he
Put
keeps
them
throwing
on
them
hold
away.
and have them attack the back line or something, but
Yeah, no, it would be extremely
like this,
useful.
they're just dying.
Yeah, no, he's just throwing away his troops. That's fine. That's good for us, I guess. I had a battle against Abyssia for their castle. There was no troops here, so I took it with ease. So that was not a challenge in the slightest. We had another battle at the Great Barrier. That was where you won. Another battle with Atlantis against your defenses, which again don't stand a chance because they're too OP. Ulm did a battle against Arch and was defeated. I think he tried to have a sneaky, squeaky army going around doing stuff. Yeah, he did. He had an army sneaking around there. Problem is Arch's provincial defense is too high for him just to sneak through, and so his boys were decimated. If there's any of them left, they're not really a threat anymore, so that's good.
Yeah, they only killed some militias, so
Which are they're quickly regenerated the next turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Did we see this? Yes, we did. I didn't really have any cool battles. Nope. Just against a bunch of useless junk. This battle. Your boys won against his provincial defenses. At least he's wasting money on provincial defenses, which did nothing. Battle of Eiffel. Sandro again with his OP units winning. Not too surprising there.
No, I did put some money into provincial defenses where I thought it was going to attack, but only like 10, so it didn't really affect me.
But putting money in there, you got other things you can spend it on. Now this is Nerfy's underwater battle with his Kalulus that Sandro's like, you're worthless, as his army gets mauled by fucking giant fish cavalry.
Well,
now, here's his disciple.
They didn't do that well, though.
Oh, no, they don't. But again, they're strong enough that they'll kill his guys, which is good.
Yeah.
Now, yep, there's his disciple. Now, unfortunately, his army routes at this point, which means that they're not going to kill him, because his deity would die. Easily. And so his deity's running like a little bitch, just like these guys are running like a little bitch. They're picking away at him, but like, honestly, if they all focused their efforts, he'd be dead. He'd be dead pretty quick, too. Which would have been a huge blow to Sandman. But, again, his advance was halted, which is impressive in of itself. And so, yeah, Atlantis is on the offensive. He knows he's OP, and so he doesn't really care. No. Some events, not particularly too good, not particularly too bad, honestly. We have started to destroy the fort at Donnermark, so it sounds like walls are critically damaged, but a little more time is required. So it'll either go down next turn or the turn after. Now, strategically speaking, for my side of things, I've got everyone heading towards the front. I am annoyed because there's such a massive army in Goodwater that I don't know if Sandro might attempt to attack me. So I don't know what to really do about that. There's not a lot of resources I have because Pfeiffer is unable to put enough pressure on Sandro to really take his attention. Hence why Sandro is attacking 2 other players, and I'm not going to be surprised when he opens up another front with me.
I don't think you have to worry about that large army he has there. It's
Underhome is the one I'm looking at. Which is why I move these armies here, but this army here is going to head north. Got to have them head north anyways. They'll be there in 2 turns.
But if you look at it, the army consists mainly of like shrimp soldiers, and the other army is also like the only time you actually have to really worry about his army is when there are living pillars.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
It's no big deal. Plus, if you look at the other side of the bridge, That's the main reason he has an army there.
Yep, it's against
But,
Poof or Toof.
yeah.
So I'm gonna have all these guys head north, and I'm gonna hope that that's gonna be enough to get them. So that's 3 big armies there. So they're gonna move 2 turns. These guys are still faring back and forth. These guys are heading north. Now, I don't think he has money to boost the garrisons in these areas, and I'm pretty sure his army is going to try to head towards Dänemark. I'm gonna assume the worst. Worst case scenario, he's gonna retake O Woods. That's fine. This army here is faster, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure they're going to just, okay, just double checking something. The Briseus guy is going to basically waddle past and just get to here real quick and take those 2 territories. Because if he takes Donner O Woods, then this guy's just going to run around and capture both these territories. First this and cut them off. Basically that. But I think the fish people here, I'm wondering what they're going to do. I'm thinking Sandro might use these fish people to attack up here. Which again, I threw 5 here, but that's not going to stop anything.
No.
But again, if he takes it, that's fine. It disrupts Hans' income and pisses off his ally, if anything. So it's a win-win for me and a lose for them.
I think the fish people are terrible, though. So
if he attacks my actual army, I'll slaughter them. But against my provincial defenses, yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll just pull out.
Yeah, they'll probably take that.
Honestly, I have half a mind just to say no and just hold on to every ounce of gold I have. That's what I'm going to do instead. Every penny counts. That penny can be put to something else next turn. Still building up troops in Solom to get to you.
Make sure you control some of your strongholds when you can. Because sometimes I just... Even if I don't have unrest, I put one of my commanders to patrol. And you get a spy now and then. Because that's a good place to put your spies.
Yeah, I should probably patrol, but I've been too busy sending literally everything I have. Because if I can kill Ketchup, that leaves them down with 3 players, which again is going to force Sand. That's why Sandro was just trying to kill Nerfy as hard as he can. And I'm pretty sure he's going to do it, because Nerfy biffed pretty hard in the beginning of the game and had some horrible luck and kept attacking provinces with cataphracts. And I did that once this game and never did it again. Which is why that province is not taken, the Kingdom of Dahara. On the other hand side of things, Poof or Toof is building up boys. I don't know if it's enough. All I know is all he needs to do is stall time. I'm thinking that the person who's going to deal the killing blow to the enemy team is going to be either Arch or it's going to be Sandro, who the game has evolved into just derping down whoever's god first. I'm not sure how I feel about that fundamentally. I think that's kind of stupid, but, you know, it's a valid strategy for both teams, I guess.
But you don't know. Sketchy might come up with something. He does have a lot of experience with the game, so you don't know if he might know some combo that's gonna
Wombo combo.
end up being... Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's helping his team literally break their factions as much as possible.
Yeah.
And we're feeling that really hard right now. Because they are on full hardcore min-max mode, and we are not, which is probably means that we should be min-maxing more, but I don't know if I can personally be asked to do that. I mean, what I'm doing now is working well enough, so I don't know. When it becomes a spreadsheets game, that's when I lose interest generally. But if you really want to spreadsheet this game, by the way, like you can, and you can become literally unkillable. That's a thing. Breaking this game, I wouldn't argue that it's breaking the game. I think it's honestly a valid tactic. Because the game was designed that you can make literally these things called super combatants, which are characters so buffed, so powerful that single-handedly they'll kill entire armies by themselves. The living pillars are just super duper retardo strong, like tard wrangling strong warrior dudes. And I'm thinking that he's gonna link up all his boys in one group and then push on Nerfy. And I think Nerfy's going to just die.
Most likely.
which is not good.
The only weakness that I've found that the living pillars have is, first of all, it's magic, because the magic usually negates armor. But also, they don't have any helmets. But even then, they still have very high natural defense. They have 9.
They don't have helmets. Oh my god. Range spam it is then. Range spam.
However, my archers only do 9 damage. But it is piercing, so they will do like 1 damage. But it's still
1 damage,
you know,
and they have to hit the target 30 times.
Yeah.
Which is probably not gonna happen.
Probably not.
Because you guys can fire like maybe several salvos, maybe 4 salvos before they get to you, and if it's only 1 damage a pop.
Yep.
Honestly, these things are so disgustingly broken, I just don't know what to do against them. I've been racking my mind.
Honestly, I think it's... You just need to know how to deal with them.
If we could get magic weapons, that would be great.
I don't know exactly how magic weapons work. Do they negate protection?
Not necessarily, but they don't have magic protection, which is what they'd need. Fuck. Trying to look at them. Living faggots. Let's see. Defense protection is 21. Magic resistance is 9. So their magic resistance is still pretty strong, and their elements against 5, and heat and cold. Poison would be nice. I do not understand how they have heat and cold. That's just weird. They should only have one or the other. Fuck. They're fishy boys. They're amphibians. Honestly, they should be vulnerable to cold, in my opinion. Oh well.
Yeah. But with my faction, for example, Veritos, like I mentioned on the previous video, the main problem that I have right now is that I haven't researched far enough. Because what you should do is you should try to get blood magic up to level 4. Because then you can summon both scapegoats, which counts as a sacred unit for Veritos, and they have like 3 attacks, and they're just really strong overall. But you can also summon Shadim, which are ranged units, and they throw lightning bolts, which counts as magic damage that negates armor. And if you have a bunch of those, you can just put them to target big units, and I think that would be able to deal with the living pillars pretty decently. But that also means that you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And actually get to that point quickly.
I think the biggest problem we have here is provincial-wise, most of us have stagnated. I'm gaining some, but I'm probably going to lose some. Nerfy has just been losing, and you lost a few, but honestly, you made a huge spike because you took some. Oh boy. I mean, it's interesting. Even if the game continues to go on, killing Ketchup will be a big help.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially because you will be able to actually render assistance to us as well, and to Arch.
He's got 120 guys. I'm hoping he's just going to turtle. I'm hoping he's going to try to make like a last stand. But I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to try to sally forth and try to relieve Donnermark, which I do not want him to do. Because he could be there in 2 turns. And if he's there in 2 turns, that means no matter what, even if the walls are crumbly next turn, he could still relieve it. Which is bad. Very bad. And I need to get my disciple's ass back on the battlefield. Oh, it's been cancer. Sooner he's dead, the better. I don't know. Killing Carlos would be a help. Just because Carlos is, bumping up against everyone. But I also want to send troops just to push Atlantis back into the ocean, though. Because our god's under threat. I just need Ketchup to die. And I have such a massive barrier. If Relo was actually holding the line properly in the ocean, I think I would have a lot less problems. Technically, Atlantis isn't pushing onto my coast yet, but I do know that he will. I'm surprised he hasn't already, because he has been making a lot of statements saying he will at some point. So I moved these
Mm.
troops down here for a turn just so I could spook them a little bit, because we're now in the third year. See, this game says it's the second year, but like when the game starts, it's like year 0. Technically, we're on the third year game. It's been 2 seasons game. This is year 3. Silly.
That's how you can tell that this game is made by someone who is mainly a programmer.
Because
It
technically,
starts at 0 instead of 1.
it's like it should be like at 0 year. No, we're in the first year. This is the first year of the war. Then it's after year 1, and then we're in the second year. Yes, it's only completed 1 full year, but we're on the second year. The second year is in progress, like a loading bar.
Mm.
This game is made by an autist who's not autistic when it comes to the things that matter, which is honestly this thing right here that tells me what year we're in. Because this is the 3rd year of this war. So you're wrong, game. Turn 24, because a year is 12 turns or something like that. Or close to. It's like around that. Because we're in spring, because the other year just ended.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna move my units towards me. So with any luck, I might be able to just run back into my provinces and just avoid Sandro entirely.
I don't think you can get to. I think he's gonna head to the Swamp of Solitude, which is the problem.
Yeah, probably. So I'll just go to Sinextro and hope that.
Sinextro, and then up to the land is our land. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna cut you off. But even if he does, you will have distracted his armies for that much longer. Which again, when we early discussed it, like it was all about you just distracting him.
Yeah.
Oh
Do you
boy.
think that all about wraps it up?
I think that does wrap up this episode of sadness. So in the next episode, hopefully we'll be less sad. But I don't imagine anytime soon with those pillars. We have nothing to deal with them. I think the one who could deal with them is myself or Arch. And you two really can't. Which is, it really sucks. And I'm fighting Abyssia,
right now,
which is
at least
a nightmare.
There's not much,
It's a nightmare because his troops are fucking toasty and my guys catch on fire.
Yeah.
Either way, I mean, he's losing. He's losing. That's all that matters.
But my research is moving up, so in a little bit, I might be able to start building some units that might deal with them. But the problem is that his living pillars don't die, and they are his sacreds. Which means that every single turn that they're not dying means that he just has more of them. And it's just going to become harder and harder to deal with.
It's a steamroll. So we need to find a solution.
Army full of them.
Yeah, no, we need to find a solution, and we have... I don't think we have very long. I think we have a couple of turns until Atlantis is going to be so fucking horrifying on your guys' side that's going to roll over, and Arch doesn't have troops to spare, and I'm working on building an army right now. I just don't know. I don't think it's going to be done in time. I don't have the money, and I really need to just deal the killing blow to hands here. Because every turn he belays me is another turn Sandro continually pushes. Because I don't think I can amass an army that'll get there in time that will be big enough to crush him. And what I need is an army to crush him, not an army that'll just tickle him.
Yep.
I have to kill him for you guys. So I think I'm going to ignore Carlos. And I'm going to actually go straight north once I'm done with hands for you across the bridge. It's the only thing I think I can do that would be reasonable.
Yep. And if you manage to get rid of Abyssia, that would also mitigate the worst case scenario if one of us would die.
It's 1 for 1 at the very least.
Yes.
And if we're going to keep up the 1 for 1 thing, we win. I really hope that I know Carlos is desperate and he's flailing right now to try to help his little Mesa. But Arch needs to kill Sketchy.
Yeah, I think
Or
that's
at
gonna be
least
difficult.
just
But
cripple him on mainland so that he's useless. And if
he does have
only.
Mother Oak up now, so that might start to steamroll into something dangerous pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's 10 Earth Gems per turn because they got a global enchantment of Cancer. They beat me to it because my big old god turned into a fucking steak. Oh well.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this up here then. Last word of the day, Cashman.
I didn't think of one this time either.